let's see how to create samples in DLight. So samples, you record them from this button here, sample. Sample record everything, almost everything that happens on channel when the record is on. Almost everything, because you will see that this channel that comes from this sub is in a disable recording mode. When I click on the label of the submaster, I set it, when it is orange, it is in disable recording. So everything that comes from this submaster will not be registered. So I've created a few stuff, two groups in submaster and some cue in the sequence. And we will see what happens when I will record sample. So I click on this button. Here first you have the choice to record only selected channel or to record all channel. So this option is very useful when you want to record sample of a part of few selected channel. I mean, I don't know how to explain more. And so here for the example, we will record all channels. Sorry. Here it is for device. When they are selected, it means that you will only sample what happens on focus channel of devices. So this is quite useful because you can record a movement as a sample, and after, thanks to other submaster or to the sequence, you will be able to change the color or to add palette or micro palette on what happens to the device. So this is the options in order to record. Here, for example, I will record only focus and color. But as we don't have devices yet, we won't use them. And I will click OK, and so sample is started recording. Everything is black for the moment. That's for okay. So let's start to make some events. This is, for example, to show you what happened. Okay. I launch the sequence. I set the 41 to full in order to show you that it will not be recorded when it comes from the submaster. So I continue, I launch the sequence up, I put more events. Okay, I play with channel 1. Okay, and I set everything to 0, even him. Okay, and to stop the sample, I click here. Okay, so sample 1 is recorded. We can find it from the display sample listing. So here we have everything that we know from listings. The drag and drop available means that I can take it, the sample, and drag and drop it in submaster in order to play it back. I can import, export sample, create. This is a fake button. Okay, this is to delete, to edit. Sorry, clone is useful when you want to, when you know that you will work on it in order to have a copy of the sample. And this is for reordering. Okay, so let me show you with the preview what the sample is. So I launch the preview. There is a long moment where I didn't do anything. And after, we will see the channel 20. Yes, here they are. And please note that the submaster does not open back. It is samples I've recorded what I did. So this is the sequence. After remember I put the submaster 3 that is not recorded. So this is the other transfer crossfade, and this is what happens on channel during the crossfade. Okay, so nice. And just to this is channel 1, and at the end I set everything to 0, even this one, and I have a stop the sample. Okay, and I won't do it, but samples are looping, so they will start again. It will start again. Okay, so now let's edit the sample. I click on the edit button. I've let everything black at the end and at the beginning to show you this function, the crop input and crop output. So crop input will remove all the dark part of the beginning of the sample, and crop output will remove all the dark part at the end of the sample. So let's do it. I just open the cut and crop input, okay, and crop output. Okay, now the sample initially was 1 minute and 10 seconds almost. I update it. I update the change, and now samples is 49 seconds. So I have crop everything at the beginning and at the end. This is the timeline of my sample, where I can move this little thing in order to see what happened. If I put the live on, I can see on stage sampled levels. Okay. This button is for going to the very beginning of the sample. This is to go to the very end of the sample. And as it is difficult to be precise with this thing, those two buttons are used to go to the next frame, next frame, next frame, and previous frame, previous frame, previous. Okay. In order for that to be clear, if I go previous, okay. So this is where, you see, where I stop this first thing. In sample, there is a concept of a region. So I don't know the English word. It is this region. It means that if I define a region, so let's do it. For example, if you see at the beginning those channels are at full, and here those beginning, those one. Let's say I've made a mistake and I don't want the previous part of the sample, so I will create a region from here to the first frame, and I will crop it in order to remove this part of the sample. So here I made an output mark. I go to the very beginning. I set an input mark, and while the cursor is inside the region, the timeline is yellow in order to show you. Okay, you see, I am outside the region, inside the region. And so I can crop the region it means that now my sample have lose all the, the the events of on those channels at the beginning of the sample. Now I update. Okay, so now my sample is beginning with those channels and not those. Um, if, for example, let's say that channel 20 is my house lights, and so I've made a mistake. I have sampled the house light. I can remove it from all the sample, and in order to do that, you you select all sample here. So it defines a region on all sample. I select the channel 20 and I set 0 equal. So as the cursor is inside the timeline, the 0 equal for channel 20 have been applied on all the sample. You see, in the output, channel 20 is at 0, and so I can update my sample. With the region concept, you can also copy and paste. So this can be useful in order to repeat events of the sample. And that's it about sample. So now, as it is loaded in a submaster, you can use a master link in order to launch sample and close sample. Okay, this is almost it, I guess. See you.